Picture this. You've been with your partner for 4 years. You've shared everything. Dreams, struggles, broke nights, cheap takeout dinners, even the fear of eviction once or twice. You've had each other's back through everything. Now imagine finding out they threw it all away. Not for love, not for passion, not even because they were unhappy, but for $250. This isn't some TV show plot twist. This actually happened. And this girl's story? It's the kind of thing that makes you question if loyalty even exists anymore. She starts by explaining that life wasn't easy for them. They were both young, buried in student debt, and working whatever jobs they could find just to get by. Their apartment was small, their furniture was secondhand, and their idea of a date night was splitting a $5 pizza while binge-watching whatever they could find for free. But they were happy, or at least she thought they were. He struggled with mental health, so holding down a full-time job was tough. She never resented him for it. In her words, it felt like me and him against the world. They talked about building a future together someday, even joked about how they'd tell their kids stories about surviving on ramen noodles. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and she thought that was enough. Then came the night everything changed. Her boyfriend wanted a night out with his friends. She didn't even hesitate. She told him to go have fun. She figured he deserved a break after all the stress they'd been under. But these weren't exactly great friends. They were loud, reckless, and had been teasing him for months about being boring since he settled down. They didn't see him as loyal. They saw him as whipped. That night, the teasing escalated. One of his friends, the one who openly disliked her, decided to make a game out of it. He pulled out $250 in cash, slapped it on the table, and dared him to cheat. And this wasn't just a joke. This was a legit dare. They all started egging him on, laughing, calling him soft, and instead of walking away or defending his girlfriend, he hesitated. That hesitation? That was the beginning of the end. The betrayal. He ended up kissing some random girl at the bar. And it didn't stop there. They left together. The next morning, he came home like nothing happened. He smiled, acted normal, and for 2 whole days, she had no idea her relationship had just imploded. Then came the message. You know the one, the dreaded, "Hey, I think you should know." That text from the girl he cheated with. That's how she found out. She confronted him right away. And instead of denying it or trying to spin some excuse, he admitted everything. He said he was sorry, that it was a stupid mistake, and that he only did it because of the money. $250. That's all it took to ruin everything they had built together. And if that wasn't heartbreaking enough, he told her he'd use that money to buy groceries for them. She described standing in her kitchen, staring at the food he bought, and feeling sick, because now every meal felt like a reminder of his betrayal. She says he's been apologizing nonstop ever since, crying, promising it meant nothing, telling her he loves her, and that he did it because he felt desperate about their financial situation. But to her, that's not an excuse. She feels humiliated, hurt, betrayed. And the worst part? She's still in love with him. She said it feels like her heart and her brain are in a war. Her brain is screaming at her to leave, but her heart can't seem to let go.
Now, let's be real. Cheating is a choice. No one forced him to do this. He wasn't held at gunpoint. He wasn't blackmailed. He made a choice to betray someone who trusted him more than anyone. And all for $250. And that friend, not a friend. That's someone who actively wanted to see him ruin his life. If you've got people like that in your circle, they're not your friends. They're just waiting for you to fail. Here's what people are saying.
If he wanted to help with bills, he needed a side hustle, not a side chick.
If he can't say no to a drunk friend, he can't be trusted in life.
He really sold his relationship for the price of an Xbox controller.
This isn't about money. It's about character.
So now she's asking for advice. Should she give him another chance because he confessed and claims it was just for money? Or is this one of those betrayals you never ever come back from? What do you think? Would you forgive him, or is this relationship officially done?